Heavenly versus demonic wisdom. This is the book of James, chapter 3. And I'll read from verse 13. Who is wise and understand among you? Let him show by good conduct that his works are done in the meekness of wisdom. If you have bitter envy and self seeking in your hearts, do not boast and lie against the truth. This wisdom does not send from above, does not descend from above, does not come down from above, but is earthly, sensual, demonic. For where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion, every evil thing are there. But the wisdom that's from above, that's heavenly wisdom, is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of good mercies and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. For the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. Heavenly wisdom are peacemakers. Okay, guaranteed one. Now, there's a big difference where you can take on a very pacifist kind of attitude. I want to shake up the storm, but majority of times, peaceful people don't start fights. They don't go looking for trouble. They don't go looking to start trouble. They're the kind that will easy to get along with. If there's something that needs to be done, you'll find these people basically are the ones who are going to get it done. And you know what's interesting about the heavenly wisdom people? As they allow the wisdom to flow in and through them, is first peaceable, gentle, willing to yield. Okay? Is that they are willing to yield. They're willing to say, okay, you know what? You may be right or wrong. I don't know. But you know what? Let's just leave it as it is for now, and let's just figure out how we're going to get the results we're after. Okay? Now, the thing is that the Bible says that the wisdom that's from below, it says, is demonic. So demons have this kind of wisdom. Satan had this kind of wisdom. Basically, he was bitter, envious, self-seeking. He could not boast and lie against the truth, no matter how hard he tried. He basically said that his wisdom was earthly. That's where he was cast down, by the way, sensual. Okay, and sensuality is like he was made a very beautiful angel, right? He used it. It corrupted him. It says that very beauty corrupted him, and that's the thing about sensuality. Sensuality corrupts. A woman who has good looks and a good form can become corrupted by sensuality when she begins to move like a harlot, or she dresses like one, instead of moving and living her life in a pure manner, having manners. You won't find out with sensuality. Sensual people don't have manners. They're also brazen. They're rude. They're ignorant. Okay. And the thing is about is that they are extremely envious and self-seeking. The Bible goes on to say that confusion, and this is a fact, confusion and every evil thing will be resident with people who are self-seeking. They can become very bitter. They can actually look. I've experienced this. I see someone be as sweet as pie and change on you, and not change on you like, look, we have changes and all, but change on you in a way like you go, whoa, what just happened there? The person turns into a grotesque creature, and they just come at you, and you go, what just happened? For example, I remember this one place I was renting from, and I went to move out the garbage and stuff like that in the morning. It's early morning to help the lady, and I thought I was doing a good thing. She basically saw that everything was taken out to the front, and she had a little bit of stuff left in her kitchen. Now, she could easily have walked to the front of the house and put it into the bins. Instead, she came and she said, you took it out too early, number one. And I'm just lightly saying with how she said it, with the tone she came at me. Her voice is raised, and she was basically went up and down and upside of me. And something that she didn't have to do. And she tried to shame me publicly early in the morning outside of her house, screaming at me. When I first met her, I would never, ever have even dreamed or thought an elderly woman would behave like that. Over the years, this is the wisdom she embraced in her life. It was bitter, envy, self-seeking. Okay, it had a lot of sensuality to it. I mean, I don't even know, and I don't really want to study her way of life. And that's the thing is about between earthly and heavenly wisdom. The way of life is the manners by which people live. And the Bible says that we ought to be very careful of those who will change. Do not associate with those who are given to change. There is something about people who embrace humility. They life has broken them enough that they kind of know a thing or two about. They wouldn't like other people to pain or feel the way they have felt, because we live in a world where you're going to meet people who are going to basically do it to you, and you're going to leave you confused. It could be your parents, right? Leave you confused and leaves you wondering, what did I do that was so bad to deserve this? And the truth is nothing. Sometimes when God marks you, because he sees ahead, that's where people call the elect or chosen or so on and so forth. God puts a certain amount of favor on some people, and he'd like to put it on everyone. But some people have more of the favor of God in their life, and it may not come out through with them being millionaires or whatever, but they always bounce back. They have a way about them. It's kind of an example: a waitress in a serving a meal, serving meals throughout the day, and she does her work with such meticulousness and thoughtfulness and kindness, and she never forgets. She never forgets, because she always is like that, consistently, always gracious to other people. Even though people could be tugging at her, being selfish and all these other things, she's way more mature than so many, because she has learned humility. And humility is a very powerful gift. When the devil came, after he became wicked, he realized that aggression is how you get what you want. And he tried it with God. God, in his humility, cast him out, not in his pride, in his humility. That's how much power humility has. That's why when the Bible says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. The very word meek, from what I was told, it means it's someone who's very powerful, yet it's restrained, it's controlled, it has self-control. They don't use what they have to their advantage, because they're not out. It's not about the advantage. It's about, they simply just are like that. And there's such a wide spectrum of fruits, of behavior, manners, so many things that happens in people. It shows forth from them when they have heavenly wisdom. It's peaceable, gentle, willing to yield. They're the kind of people that you give them a baby, and you watch how they cradle the baby. They understand. They understand. They get it. You don't have to explain to them. They get it. Willing to yield. They kind of will walk through the door, and they will always be aware of the person. They have other, other, others mentality. They notice other people. They're very well aware of others, not just themselves. Not so with earthly wisdom. Earthly wisdom is all about the individual. That's it. They exist only for them. And if they have a fierce sense of loyalty, it will always to be what is important to their immediate environment, not anyone else. That's why people use sayings saying dog eat dog world and all this other stuff. Well, or life is a bitch or whatever. Well, these are all nice, these are all their little sayings because that's the wisdom of the world. But in God's kingdom, God doesn't see that. He sees those who basically are maintaining his principles, his nature. And I'm just gonna start end with this and say the fact of the matter, heavenly wisdom is the nature of God. And when you are one who is not only in possession, or it's basically become such an integral part of your physiology, your soul, the content, the consistency of your character. God and you are going to have a relationship. And a relationship comes through Jesus Christ. It starts there. But I'll tell you something, that kind of Christian will have a deep relationship with God. So much so, the things that other people will not even experience, they will. They'll experience God's presence. They'll experience times where God will actually speak to them. The clouds will open up. The sun will shine right down upon them. And after a while, they're going to start to get it. Animals are going to be very well aware. As soon as the animal sees them and sees their eyes, the animals perk up right away and know that the Creator is shining right through them. That's what heavenly wisdom does to that person. And so much so that if throughout history, they're not about fanfare, blowing horns to announce anything. But I'm sure many a time they've laid their hands on people and the people have been healed. Their very presence are a healing balm, are a beautiful awareness of God's wholesomeness in the environment. Demons will notice them. And you know what? The thing is that those people who have heavenly wisdom, you can be guaranteed one thing. They will tell you and they will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're targeted because the devil knows them and God knows them. And it's going to leave you with this. A lot of times they don't know how important they are to God. And that's where God takes you. It's not pride. And it just ends with this. In the book of Daniel says that they that know their God shall be strong and carry out great exploits. And that's just the thing. When you know God, you will always be strong. Have a good day. Like and subscribe.